Now, normally, I start these out by saying, Good morning, Panther fans. I'm not so sure how good the morning is. I'm currently looking at the NHL standings, and I don't want to show them because I don't want to abuse the fan base. But I'll just summarize it by saying this: the Sabres are better than us. And not just because they're tied with points and have a game in hand, but their goal differential is 18, where ours is 0. And considering games in hand and where the points are, we actually technically, if the Wings, Canadians, and Senators won their games, we'd be in last place. Last place. Good morning, Stu.
Morning, Eric.
That was last place. In
Yeah,
case,
went from first to last.
yeah,
So, if you guys haven't seen Jaws' recap last night, I highly recommend you do. Um, I mean, we'll spend 5 minutes on the game. Bobrovsky, we said it the last video. Bob, hot as a pistol, should have started that game last night.
yeah,
And if Maurice was going to give Knight a shot, it should have been at home versus New Jersey. Or, as Eric said, they could have went with Bob for both games and then just started Knight after the break.
right.
But he didn't.
But he
And
didn't.
what's worse is you take a goalie out, 3 goals in the first period. I fully expected Bob to come in the second period.
Right.
And he just, you know, he left Knight in
And
there for the
and and,
Vultures to pick his bones.
and Knight looked exactly how we were both afraid he would look. That's Rusty Knight. We've seen it. You know what I mean? We've seen it with him. He's a
Bob is
young.
on a freaking run right
I
now.
know. I know. I know.
All right, listen, we
Yep.
know
I know.
better than them.
Yeah.
Anyway, embarrassing loss. But
Yeah.
we were, and I said it again, we're playing the number one team in Boston,
Right.
undefeated at home. You could see the difference, how good that team is and how bad we are. It's just mind boggling how far we've regressed.
Right.
So let's get to the heart. Now, you said something about Sam Bennett. I focus on getting rid of Ekblad. We
Well.
can we can have a better defense, and we proved it when he was out. I get rid of Ekblad and I sign Gudis for another year. I give him another year.
Hmm.
So we got Forsling and Montour, and then we got
Mahura
Mahura and
Gudis.
Gudis,
Right.
and then we got Stoll and Kierstead.
Right. And look, I'm not saying only. I mean, you're not wrong, but moving Ekblad's going to be a little bit tougher because of the no move clause. He's going to have to agree to leave, which I brought up Bennett only in the sense of not really even because of his play right now. Just looking ahead monetarily, you know, if Forsling's going to need a contract, you're going to want to sign Mahura to a contract. Lundell's going to need a contract, right? So
We're
looking
gonna have we're
ahead,
gonna have $15 million.
right. So looking ahead and looking where the holes are, I'd be
And
just fine going next year with Barkov, Lundell, Luosterainen. And don't get me wrong about Bennett, but it's 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 over, man. Whatever that was that we had last year, it ain't coming back. The only reason I'll say this, and I'll let you have what you're gonna say. The only reason to keep Sam Bennett at this point and not collect some assets is if we're gonna fire Maurice and get a real coach and still trying to make a run at it.
okay, so I disagree. I think Sam Bennett's still a good player.
Hmm?
Everybody's playing bad, so I just chalk it up to that. Um, ugh. As far as Maurice getting fired, I'd love it, but I don't see it.
Right, right.
Because then Zito's admitting, again, he made a mistake in hiring him, and it's tough to, you know, bite the bullet and say, I made a mistake.
Yeah. And
And
that's
and
his own.
and who knows if Trotz wants to even come here. So
Right.
as far as Ekblad goes, so you have to find a team with cap space, number one, and you have to find a team that he's willing to go to.
Right.
Detroit's an up and coming team.
Right.
Ekblad's from Barrie, Ontario, right over the bridge from Detroit.
Right.
So he'd basically be going home.
Right.
That's where I think if they have the money and if there was an opportunity presented, and then I think Ekblad might be agreeable for a trade anywhere if the team that we're trading him to will extend him, because he's only got I think 2 more seasons. I think we talked about it. He's going to need a new contract.
I'm looking at cap friendly. The Wings have 3.7 in space right now.
Okay.
So they'd have to trade us somebody making almost 4. Looking at guess who they could I can't believe this. Guess who they had that they could flip us and it would work out with the cap wise. Are you ready for this? I want to see your face when I say it because I'm not looking. You ready for this? Everybody hold their breath. Ben Sherratt. It would work with the cap space and what they're paying him. It would work.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that sums it up perfectly, bro. That a year after we're sitting there going, Sherratt was a waste of time. Why did we even do that? When I said going back to your ex, that's exactly what this is. This is like going back to your ex-wife and trying to figure out how to make it work without killing each other, man.
then you talked about dropping in the standings. You got to realize if we get a lottery pick, I don't even know. We have no draft picks.
No, it's lottery protected. No, it's not protected. Excuse me, it's not protected. Yeah. So because who would have thought last year to even bother with that, right?
It's a moot point about draft picks. So, we got a dilemma here.
Yeah, we're in deep.
What's killing us right now is Barkov's out again and Lundell's out, but the main thing for me is Gudis.
Right. Yeah.
And that was just accidental helmet to helmet.
Right.
I mean, those helmets are supposed to protect from concussion, but
right.
I don't. And if you watch the replay, it wasn't like like in football where they really bang heads.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. So.
Yeah. And look, last night, I mean, there was some issues last night. I mean, Spencer Knight was rough last night. Mahura was not. I mean, Mahura got smoked at least once. We can kind of give him a pass every once in a while because he's played well. Ekblad got a couple of times in front of the net. He can't move. But I'm starting to wonder if teams are, because I said this last time too. I'm starting to wonder if teams are making plays around him knowing he can't move laterally.
Absolutely.
It's starting to look like they're purposely going after him in a certain way because they know he's not going to be able to come from this side of the net to that side of the net to cover the man.
All you got to do is, look at odd man rushes. Ekblad, they go around him so easy.
Right.
Because he's slow. Reactive slow and skating slow.
Yeah.
But the main thing for me last night, and I knew it before the game started, when they announced Knight, I'm like,
right.
Big mistake.
Right.
Big
Right.
mistake. And I know maybe they wanted to give Bob a little rest. I guarantee you, Bob's in net tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, it's
All right, you know
it's
what? Flush this season down the toilet because isn't at this point in time, like you said, Jersey Islanders. Who's after the Islanders?
oh, forget.
Montreal.
The schedule: Jersey Island. Let me look. Let me
Montreal
look at it.
usually comes in around New Year's.
No, because the Islanders are the last game before the break. Or I
Right.
think. Let me see. All right, we got the Devils tomorrow. Crying out loud. We got the Devils tomorrow. Then Friday we got the Islanders. Then we come back from the break for the Canadians, the Hurricanes, and the Rangers.
5 games.
And
We're lucky if we win 2. And I
right.
say that we're lucky if we win 2. We might win tomorrow. Islanders always give us fits, but you never know.
And I mean, look, this standings. Let me just share them. Let me just share them. I mean, it's.
I just hate hearing the Montreal fans cheering on the Canadians at our arena.
I mean, look, the Red Wings have lost 6 straight, but if they win their games in hand, they're still ahead of us. But even after losing 6 straight, okay, the Canadians have a game in hand. If they win it, they're tied. If they beat us, they're going to leapfrog us.
Yeah,
And even the Senators, 2 games in hand, they win them. We're in last place.
Yeah, forget
Last
about
place.
that. Take your cursor and go down and look. Devils lost 5 in a row.
They're still in first place.
Hurricanes won
Hurricanes,
7 in a row. Rangers won
Rangers
7. I mean,
7 in a row.
yeah.
Okay, and look, the Penguins have that first wild card spot at 40. The Islanders at 38. The Cap. I mean, it's and where are we sitting at 34? I mean, okay, I guess you can't not say it's over because what are we 4 points out of? So you can't say it's over.
No.
But it's fitting to be over.
Yeah.
If we don't win in regulation 5 of the next 6, it could be over.
Yeah. Unless we go on a 20-game winning streak.
Yeah, unless we have some ridiculous second half.
But the team's depleted, man.
I know.
And it's evident.
Right. I know.
And you're right. Something's up with Lundell that they're not telling us.
It's both years, man. I don't know what's going on with this kid. I mean, I know he's young, but he went from just about ready to come back to day to week to no timeline, and now he's getting closer.
And the thing with Barkov really disgusts me because he was playing good.
Right.
And it was an unnecessary cross-check that didn't have to happen.
Right.
So,
well, it's rough. It's rough. And, you know, the thing of it is that, you know, we get healthy. But we're playing the same way for the most part. We look the same inconsistent way with our guys and without them. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. We're just night to night, exactly what you said, Jekyll and Hyde. And yeah, we could get healthy, but then we still got Maurice.
I told you, he's lost this team.
And at one point, at the start of the third period last night, a couple people left me know the time on ice. By the start of the third period last night, Ekblad had like 18 minutes, and Kierstead had like 3 and change. I mean, the absurdity of that. And Kierstead was like a +2, and Ekblad was like a -3. Now, you might say, you know, they're throwing Ekblad out there against the best people, but he shouldn't be out there against the best people.
Who made the comment when Gudis comes back, you sit Ekblad?
That might have been Frank.
I agree.
Yeah.
Need to light a fire under that kid.
Yeah.
And that's you know, like the team has regressed. Last season, at the beginning of the season, he's playing Norris Trophy hockey.
Right.
and he gets hurt, and then this year,
No, I mean, look, at the beginning of the year, we were like, Ekblad, Forsling, we're good. We didn't miss Uyghur at all. They looked fine. Um,
that's because of Montour, and getting Mahura was a good move.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Um, I don't know, bro. I mean,
It's sad. It's sad.
it is because,
It's sad and disgusting and frustrating. I mean, there's so many adjectives to describe the emotions that all of us have. But 3-0, you ain't coming back against the Bruins. However, 3 goals in 5 minutes.
well, remember they made it 4-0.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, they got the early one in the second period, and
and
then we
then
get the three
the
goals in
fifth
five
the fifth
minutes,
goal was the backbreaker.
and then yeah, yeah, and we're just leaving guys open. I mean, look, Knight didn't play great. Um, he's definitely wasn't on his angle, and the one squeaked by him. But we're also doing that thing again where we're leaving guys open. We're letting guys carry the puck through the middle of the ice in the zone and step into their shots. I don't care what goalie. If the dude's gonna be 6 feet away, 8 feet away even, and the player is just going to be allowed to skate into his shot and rifle the puck at the goalie, 99% of those shots are going in. The
Because
goalie can't move fast enough.
most of these players shoot really. I mean,
Right.
and it's the sticks.
Yeah.
They fire bullets. That's the defense backing up and not
Right.
being more aggressive. That's the forwards not covering their man or letting their man go by them. There's a number of factors.
Right.
But anyway, we'll have to see what goes on after the break. I mean, it's not even a break. I mean,
Well,
a couple
last
of
game's
days.
it's 5 days.
Yeah.
It would have been the better move. I mean, we said it. It's not hindsight. It would have been a better move to just let. And somebody, excuse me, Praga Waga on the stream last night said, maybe they should have just, if they wanted Knight to get in some work, considering Bob and how well he was playing, let Knight go down to the AHL and play a game to get 2 weeks is a long time to be out as a goalie to be thrown into that game last night, right? And considering the way Bob was playing, I kind of agree. Maybe throw Spencer down there just to give him a game, to get him on the ice, get him into the flow. Because it doesn't take a rocket science to know that he was going to be rusty. That's
Right.
some
That's why I said the Devils at home.
right.
And
Yeah.
Bob plays against, the best team in the league. Listen, hats off to the Bruins, man. They
No,
got it
yeah.
they got it cranking.
Yep.
Like we did last year. They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yep.
Brad Marchand the rat. Hate him, but he's a great player.
Yeah.
And that kid Clifton, man, that first goal was great.
Right. No, I know, man.
It's super effort. But
I
that's
think
all I got today.
I know.
Short but sweet video today, guys. There's
I know
nothing else to say.
we're both in shock because I mean the win. I mean it has been win one lose one now for.
Yeah.
I mean we had
Something's
that.
got to be done with Ekblad, man. And Maurice is, that always playing the veterans, man. And he's got
Right.
blinders on right now. All
I
he's got to
know.
do is watch film and
I,
see how bad he's playing.
I know. I know. But
And you're right. He should not be racking up all the minutes. That's why I'm hoping and praying Gudas comes back quickly. And again, if they're going to play Ekblad, play him on the third pair.
right.
I mean, don't forget, he's a number one draft pick, Calder Trophy winner, make assistant captain. It's a real blow to his ego
Right.
to get demoted like that. But you know what? He
Hugh would have done
deserves
it.
it.
Q would have done it.
Yep.
I don't know if Bruno would have done it, but Q would have done it.
Tortorelli would have done it.
Uh-huh.
Tortorelli benched Kevin Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Hayes was not happy.
Right.
So, yep.
Jeez. I can't
All
believe
right,
we're
buddy.
here, man. Yep.
That's it.
All right, guys. Like Stu said, short and sweet this morning. It's rough. It's rough. It was so rough last thing. It's so rough that last night Lucas made a video declaring that he was back because he was at the Boston game. So I gotta talk to him today. We might have something tomorrow with Lucas. I get where he's coming from, man. You know, I think we're all kind of
imagine being a Panther fan and sitting in TD Garden watching that shit.
Watching that, right?
I would have put a jacket on.
He was
my Panther hat off.
He was pissed. He was pissed.
I saw his video.
Yeah, you know, so some people called it. I mean, I'll give Jeff credit. Automax, he called it. There's a few people that have said, you know.
Well, I called it.
Well, not tonight. I mean, the way the position we are in the season.
Oh, we're lucky if we make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
That's all I'll say. I'm not going to go either way because things could turn on a dime.
Well, I mean, if we get healthy,
we'll see how better the team is when Duclair comes back.
Oh man, we'll be dead by then. We don't have till that. I mean, even that's February 1st. That's another. Even if it's another month away, we need Barkov and Lundell to get out there and be right. We need this coach to demote Ekblad, and at least that gives us the best chance. Whatever this team's going to be, that gives us an opportunity that way. Last thing, Denisenko again looked good last night. I don't know what his time on ice was. You know, it's gonna be a mess, man, because what is Zito gonna do when Duclair comes back? And we don't know. You know, it looks like they're gonna try to bring Hornqvist back off of LTIR before that happens because he's been skating. So, that's why I got to the Sam Bennett thing, because I was just like, you know, if we're out of it and Zito wants to start looking towards next year, you know, he might move a piece other than Hornqvist. You know what I mean? Because Hornqvist, we're going to have to basically pay somebody assets to take. You move a Bennett, you're going to get assets in return and as well, you know, pick up some extra cap space. And if he looks towards next year, he might do that. And I'm not saying I don't like Sam Bennett. I'm not saying any of this is his fault. I'm just looking at the players we have and the situation that we have and the depth and where we could pick up some extra space and some assets. And it's not like Bennett is playing, you know, I mean, he's not winning faceoffs. And that's the biggest thing is that, you know, you've got to have your 2C, which he's been 1C every time that Barkov's out and Lundell's out too. He's winning faceoffs about a 42%, 43% clip, which it's rough, man. It's rough. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. Jeez. All right. That's enough. Appreciate all the support. I'll probably be back later on with something today. If I get outside of the house. It's 23 degrees, 24.
Ouch.
Yeah, it might be 25 by now. So, all right, Panther fans, keep the heads up.
Keep the faith, people.
We're eventually going to win 14 in a row, and then we'll beat the Bruins in the first round. I had to give him a laugh, man. Yeah, exactly.
I want some of that.
Oh, jeez.
Have a great day, everybody.
Yep, we'll see you later.